What's up, everybody? Benja Well Done coming at you live on this beautiful corona-free day. Today is Friday, September the 18th. How are you doing? So, I started thinking today, it's sort of weird how on Facebook everybody's called friends when, in fact, they're really not. I know you could say it's semantics, but the truth is, I have a lot of people. I have more friends on Facebook, as I'm sure as everybody else does, that aren't friends, but I don't like the fact that they still contact me periodically to wish me a good holiday. In my opinion, if you're not on my phone, probably don't want good wishes. That sounds kind of aggressive, and I don't mean that exactly, but here's what I'm getting at. Unless you're in my actual social circle, if the only time you ever contact me is on a special holiday because you're reminded to by Facebook update, delete me from your life. There it is. Delete me from your life. I don't need you. That's what's so good about Instagram. Instagram minds your own business, you know? Instagram is just a great way to be able to see random people, their videos, and see what they're doing. But there's a lot of, this might be a new term, disingenuousness. You see how I just made my own stuff? Yeah, all the girls got filters and stuff. Even guys use filters now, which is crazy, you know? A guy having a filter is about the one step closer to a dude wearing makeup. I'm just saying. Hey, don't hate me because it's true, you know? I'm nothing against guys that wear makeup. However, what's going on? Okay, what's going on? I don't really know any guys that wear makeup personally. Even gay guys. You might think, oh, that might be a gay thing, gay guys. Maybe, you know? But that might even be to go to like a club or a special event or what. I don't have a clue, you know? But as far as I'm aware, even gay dudes don't even wear makeup. Guys in general, yeah, you don't really see that many guys going into a Hot Topic trying to get some new mascara. Just saying, there's nothing wrong with that. Think about it. They got all-girl stores. You ever heard of Victoria's Secret? You know? I'm not really sure what the equivalent of that would be for a guy. I don't really feel sexy with underwear myself. That's the reason I don't wear any. I'm just messing. I wear underwear. Yeah, we've resulted to that. We've literally talked about not having friends in real life. Me. I've got about 2 of them. I say it as a joke, but it's true. You know? I got people that I know, and people that I consider friends, but very few people that I'm in like close and very, very continuous contact with. You know who you are. One of them is a cop. One of them is a soldier. Actually, they're both soldiers. One's already out. One's still in. I'm not going to put them on this. Okay, who knows? Maybe something I said isn't politically correct. But facts of the matter is that guys don't wear makeup. You know? And if you got a filter while you're doing Instagram, it just seems like you're a liar. I have this joke thing. Actually, I don't want to let it out. But I got this whole new material actually having to do with makeup. And it's just basically kind of illustrating the differences and facts of how girls will put on makeup if they're going to a special event, but they'll also do it if they're going to get coffee in the morning. See what I'm saying? I guess that means they care, but man, it's sort of a weird thing. You know, a buddy of mine told me something the other day. He said, don't forget your mask. I was getting ready to go out, and we were just talking shit on the phone. And I said, yeah, I always got one in the car. He says, no, your other one. I said, what do you mean? He's just like, don't be too much of a two-face today. Now, even that seems kind of aggressive, okay? But we laughed, and it's kind of a joke that I was saying one day that we were talking about, which is in real life, I feel like everybody kind of wears a mask, you know? I'm getting kind of deep. But here's what I'm getting at. When your boss tells you good morning and you really don't want to talk with them, you say in a pleasing face, because you don't want to be controversial, hey, how are you? When in fact, you don't really want to know how they're doing. And it seems like it's even more aggressive if you're just like, fine, thanks, and you don't return the favor. You don't like ask. You know, that's one of the biggest things that I don't like the most is when somebody asks me how I'm doing only because they're just waiting to tell me something, you know? And you can usually see it coming. Because the first thing that they'll do, they'll follow up with, They'll be like, oh, I had the craziest weekend last weekend. Usually people say certain stuff to like, you know, I think people do that will, guys do it, girls do it, everybody does it. I don't do it. I guess not everybody then. But it's like a really shitty way of wanting to talk about yourself instead of just talking about yourself. There's nothing wrong with being like, dude, I went to the craziest party last week and I had so much fun. We did this, that, and the other. And if you're sharing it and it's something like that, that would somebody maybe want to hear, you're not just being like weird, you know? But this shit has got to stop where someone will be like, I had the craziest weekend last weekend. And then they're just looking at you. And when I see that happening, because I know that they expect me to be like, what happened? You know, the first thing I say is, I just say, really, really? Cool. And it gets weird because they want to say something about whatever they did, but you didn't follow up and you're like, so anyway, so what I did was, it's so weird. Don't do that shit. What's wrong with you? You know? Delete yourself from my life. I'm very happy to say that I think the part of the reason I have so few friends is because I have so many rules of friendship. You know? But I'm very lucky too. Because the people that I'm closest with, that I click with and bond with, and they knew who they are, it's more than just two. It is more than just two. But the ones that I talk to continuously, or even the ones that I don't talk to as often, that I see like a few times a week or whatever the case may be, I'm awesome with these people, right? Do anything. Help them out, right? But even those people that I talk to less frequently on a multiple times of day or daily basis or whatever the case, even then they're not like that. I think there's a certain personality type that I can only actually be friends with. And I guess you could call them truth seekers. Sounds weird, truth seekers. But people that are just upfront and honest. You see, in the military, they always tell you move with a purpose. And if you had no clue, I'm an Army vet, but anyway. They always tell you move with a purpose. But you know what else? Speak with a purpose, which is kind of like comedy. In comedy, you want to say things with a purpose. You want to set somebody up in a certain direction to get them maybe thinking in a certain way before you kind of like push them off that cliff, metaphorically speaking that is, for the punchline, and tell them at the very last moment, you know, the end of the joke. Otherwise, they're going to see it coming. You know? Had a point. Not really sure what it is anymore, but that's besides the point. Made another one. Man. You know, actually one time I actually had to, as I was going on a rant, a healthy rant, which is what this is, I actually stopped the video and went back to see what I was working on, what I was just saying. You know? I can't wait to get back on stage. Once I get back on stage, I'll finally be able to get out all these ideas. Closest thing to comedy I've been doing lately is just doing a lot of writing, working on material. I actually did an online show the other day, which it was just to one dude, who was like a friend of mine. I guess he's a friend. Yeah, he's a friend. There you go. Just found it out. But it was cool. It's just a guy on Instagram that I talk a lot of shit with, just joking around. And I told him, I was like, hey, look, could I just like Instagram live you or whatever, and I can just work on new jokes. That way I can like start to build off of this material and find out what works. I went with him, and he heard me out. He laughed and stuff, as I knew he would. But you know, not at everything, and that's important. But before saying that something complete doesn't work, I gotta make sure I say it to enough people, because there's always a possibility that if there's 100 people in a crowd and I tell 100 jokes, or I don't really say jokes, I just report information in a very fucked up way, and tell stories too that are funny. When I think jokes, I think like zany little, you know, stupid little things that make me look like an idiot, and I'm not. So, but anyway, if I were to, for simplicity terms, if I were to say 100 jokes, things that were funny, and at 100 people in an audience, and for each joke one person doesn't laugh but 99% of them do, that's still 100% effective, because not every person is going to laugh at every joke every time. But The reason you got to do it in front of a group, big group of people. First off, if it was ideal circumstances, it's a crowd of people that already like your style of comedy. That doesn't mean they like you. That doesn't mean they like That doesn't mean they like who you are or what you represent or something like that. I mean, that's part of it, but it's really like my point of view on the world, my point of view on topics, on situations, on things. That way, if they already stylistically like my viewpoint and my style of comedy and whatnot, then I'll know if it's not effective and they already like stylistically what I do, then I can throw it away. But it has to not work with the majority of the people that like me, because otherwise it's successful. It's a weird thing. 100 people in an audience, I say 100 funny different things, 100% accuracy, it worked 100% of the time. But for some reason, one person doesn't laugh for every single joke out of 100. But out of 100 jokes, every single punchline is a success. Every single funny thing, people are laughing. There's a great comedian, Ian Edwards. He made a comment one time about you're not always going to make every person laugh on every single joke every single time. And that's true. And that's not what I'm trying to do. Well, I want to get 100%, but realistically, even if it was like 99, 98, I'm not really sure what percentage I wouldn't want. Of course, I want 100% of everybody. But what I'm getting at is this. As long as it creases the crowd more than just the majority, the ultra majority. So there's sounds weird to say, but an ultra minority of everybody does not think it's funny. And then when I say my next joke, that person didn't think the last one's funny, is laughing, and they're just replaced with somebody else in an audience, I'm okay with that. I'm fine. I'm okay with that. I'm fine. I get it. Doesn't bother me. I'm cool. Of course, I want perfection. There's a certain phrase, a certain saying where somebody says, if you shoot for the moon and land among the stars, you're still in good company. It's pretty insightful. Yeah. In other words, if you shoot for amazing greatness and then you shoot beyond that, or beyond, if you shoot for beyond amazing greatness, you get greatness. Yeah. It's pretty insightful. So you still get your goal. I guarantee you every shot that Michael Jordan didn't make, he tried to get, obviously. But even though with all of his misses, he's still the greatest ever. Oh, he's such a pioneer. He's phenomenal. In my opinion, the best of the best ever. The only reason that LeBron, and I'm not a sports guy, stay out of my lane, right? But the only reason these guys are as good as they were, including Kobe, yeah, rest him, and LeBron and all these other people, is because they were inspired by Michael Jordan. And it's the truth. That's part of how inspiration works. People get better based off of prior records. Records get broken. Records get smashed based off of other records. Okay? They say certain things weren't possible until somebody pushed the envelope, and then advanced 10 or 15 years from now, and they're way past what they said was a world record 10, 15, 20 years before it. So, maybe there's some supplements into that equation, also known as steroids. Maybe not. But certain sports do not necessarily benefit from steroids. Basketball being one of them. Golf, I don't really think golf is one of them, because it's such a sport involved with technique and the finesse. Certain positions on football, yes, but other sports that have to do more with a skill set and less with force, yeah, it's all technique. So that's one of the things that I love about the jiu-jitsu, is that the truth is that if you're world class and another guy is much stronger and much bigger, it doesn't matter how big or how strong you are. You're not going to beat me. You're not going to have some guy who's a completely strong, brute, unknowledgeable, random individual overpower me. You could say it's cocky. Could say it's confidence. But it's the truth. That's part of the thing that I love about jiu-jitsu, is that when everyone that you train with, your whole purpose is actually, as somebody said earlier today, it's you're assisting in everybody getting better, while at the exact moment progressing yourself, and just being very, very truthful with everything that you're working on. And then once you leave, metaphorically, in all honesty, it relates to life. It relates to you. It relates to whatever you're going on. It's like a 3-dimensional problem-solving exercise, martial art, where once you're done, everything else seems easier. And it's because it is. It helps me in my comedy exponentially. And whatever it is that you do, I highly encourage you that you try jiu-jitsu. Let me know if you try it out. Send me email, Benja, B-E-N-J-A, well done, W-E-L-L-D-O-N-E, @gmail.com. And let me know you tried it, because I'm telling you, it really does make things better. Just understand, when you first start, it's kind of like a bicycle. You do a lot more effort when you're starting compared to once you're already moving. So just keep going. I'm Benja, well done. I hope everybody has a beautiful weekend. Take care. See you later. I'm out. Peace.